Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's a guy that would rather lose the game and be hated, Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Big Brother 17 Ladies Night, where we're going to preview the 7 women competing in Big Brother 17. And here with us to talk about it are a couple of our live feed correspondents that are going to be with us all season long to talk Big Brother 17. First, let's welcome back a guy that you met during the Big Brother Canada live feed updates. And, of course, he's also hosted some for us on post-show recaps. Here is our good friend, Brent. Welcome in. Brent, how are you?
Hello, Rob. I just want to tell you guys, breaking news, I have actually met and played with one of the contestants that we are going to be talking about tonight. And I won't tell you who it is until we get to her.
Okay, all right. And we've played, it leaves that so open. We don't know if somebody's in a racquetball league or what.
Maybe he played Big Brother with them.
Maybe you played. Yeah. Yes. All right, Brent. Okay, with a teaser here to start off our Big Brother 17 podcast tonight. And then, of course, let's bring somebody else that you met during the Big Brother live feeds on the Big Brother Canada, or Big Brother Canada updates, I should say. Please welcome Taryn Armstrong. Taryn, how are you?
I'm doing great, Rob. You know, Brent might have played with one of the contestants, but I actually met Portia on a boat, and she told me that I should be on this podcast.
Oh, yes, wow. Yes.
How about that? How about that? All right, so very excited to have you guys here with us. Here we are, again, streaming on our YouTube channel on @RobCesternino is my YouTube channel. Also on Periscope as well, so we got a lot of people watching this across a lot of different platforms. Of course, many people are also listening to the podcast as well on our podcast feed at robswebsite.com/iTunes. So we are going to be previewing the 7 women competing in Big Brother 17. Last night with Ian Terry, we talked about the 7 men competing in Big Brother 17. If you haven't seen or heard that show, you can do that at robhasawebsite.com. And, of course, what we're going to do as we go through these 7 women, you're going to see this on the screen behind me on our YouTube channel. Also, we are going to be taking your questions here in the chat room. And then if you want to get them into the show, we're going to be following them on Twitter, #RHAP, and then on our YouTube channel at robhasawebsite.com/YouTube. We're going to be talking about some things tonight, and I want people to attempt to be mature and respectful of everybody that we're going to talk about here tonight. That goes for you guys in the chat room. I'm reading the chat room as we go along on Periscope, in the comments on robhasawebsite.com, because we are going to have to all be tested on our maturity here this season with talking about some of these things. And we will, look, if people are going to be silly and out of line and immature, there's no place for that on Rob Has a Planet. All right? Understood? You got that, Brent? Got that, Taryn?
Got it. Locked in.
100%.
Lay down the law here early on this podcast. I feel like this crowd could be a little punchy tonight. I want to make sure everybody knows where I'm coming from. All right. Then, on top of that, all right, Big Brother live feeds are right around the corner. Big news tomorrow, because on Friday, the long-awaited return of Frankie Grande to the Big Brother live feeds is happening tomorrow, Taryn.
Yeah.
Try to contain that excitement.
Are you ready for Frankie Grande's live chat on Friday?
I'm never ready for a social media mogul.
The mogul is coming to the Big Brother live feeds, and for those of you guys who are in on the early bird version of the Big Brother live feeds, and by early bird I just mean that you have the live feeds already, that you can go ahead and chat with the real life Frankie Grande. That's right. If you get in on the Big Brother live feeds, of course you can get your feeds at robhasawebsite.com/live feeds anytime. But if you want to chat with Frankie Grande, you can do so tomorrow. Does anybody know what time that is? We don't know.
I don't know. I didn't mark my calendar.
Yeah. If you want to chat with Frankie Grande, or if you just want to watch the damn show on the live feeds, you can get robhasawebsite.com/live feeds. Or if you want to play Big Brother live feed bingo, those digital Big Brother live feed bingo cards are going to hope to get them out this weekend, so you get them plenty of time before the show starts. Go to RHAPiswebsite.com/bingo to find out how to win $500 playing Big Brother Live Feed Bingo this year. No purchase necessary. Buy your live feeds from me. Buy them somewhere else if you want to play on Big Brother Live Feed Bingo. RHAPiswebsite.com/bingo. Okay, let's get into all of this. Of course, we are going to be live after the premiere this upcoming Wednesday, so hope to have a great show for you guys then. And so let's get into this, and let's start with talking about the 7 women competing in Big Brother 17. All right, and we're going to start, of course, alphabetically with the person that has gotten by far the most attention out of anybody competing in Big Brother 17. And here she is. Let's begin our conversation talking about Audrey. And so here is Audrey, and of course, she has gotten so much attention, not for being a digital media consultant, but for being the first transgender house guest in the history of Big Brother USA. All right, so that's where the headlines start with Audrey. And so, Brent, could you just talk to us about the significance of what Audrey is doing here?
I think it's a really big deal. I know that there are many people who've said that, that CBS, Matt Hoffman online said that CBS is jumping on the bandwagon, that this is the in thing now to talk about transgender issues, and that may be true to a certain extent. But for Big Brother to cast someone who is transgender in 2015, when a lot of people still don't understand what it is, including many people in my community, I think is a really big deal. So I applaud CBS for doing it, and I can't wait to find out more about her.
Yeah, this is very interesting to me. Now, it's interesting for many, many reasons. Now, on the Big Brother think tank, when we did this podcast a couple of weeks ago, I said that, I would not be surprised if Big Brother was going to cast somebody who was transgendered on the cast. And so here is Audrey now. And do you think that Audrey was in the mix for casting the whole way through, or do you think when the Caitlyn Jenner stuff blew up that they scrambled to find Audrey? What's your sense, Brent? Do you think that she was in the mix the whole time?
Well, it's impossible to know, but I do think that there's a good chance she was in the mix the entire time. She is a gamer. I mean, if you've read anything about her, she's big into ORG competitions, reality online gaming competitions. She seems pretty cutthroat. She's a big super fan. She knows Big Brother front and back. She's the kind of person who just would gravitate to reality television in general. So I think there's a good chance she was in the mix. I don't doubt, though, that the Caitlyn Jenner hype might have pushed her over the top, though.
The thing that, under normal circumstances, if she wasn't a Big Brother super fan, I would say that she was definitely a recruit, and definitely that Robin Cass was scrambling, like, find me somebody who's transgender, we could put on Big Brother. But the fact that she knows so much about Big Brother makes me feel like that she was already on the minds of the casting people, and probably in the mix before. And Taryn, do you feel like that's the case? Do you feel like that she was probably already in the mix?
I do. She definitely seems like a big fan of the show, and I don't think she's talked too much about her application process, but it wouldn't surprise me at all now.
Yeah. Now, another interesting thing about this is that Audrey is supposedly going to tell everybody in the house about what she's going through on the first night, and supposedly also the information about this, about her, I don't know if this was going to be a secret that she was transgender, or that she is transgender. And I want to also apologize if I say anything wrong. I know everybody is very sensitive about this, but I hope that you guys will have a little bit of patience for all of us that we're just trying to get all of the terminology correct. And while we will not tolerate anybody who is being hateful or intolerant on any sort of message boards or anything that we have, I also hope that if somebody misspeaks or just comes from a place of not quite yet knowing what's okay to say or what's not okay to say, I just hope that people will also say, oh, okay, I didn't know that I wasn't that this is what I should say or should not be saying, and that we give people at least an opportunity to get on the right page. Right? Is that fair to ask?
Well, yes, two things. When Julie Chen was on the talk and she was saying, this is Audrey's story to share, and she wants you to learn. She wants you to learn a little bit about a community that you may not know a lot about, and she got pretty emotional about it. So it is an educational experience for all of us. I just want to say to you, Rob, that I applaud you for being as tactful and as gracious as you have been about this.
No applause necessary.
No, for real. I do want to give you a little bit of props, only because, look, I'm gay, and you would think that gay and lesbian issues and transgender issues intersect in some ways, and in some ways they do. But I have to tell you that this was a big blind spot for me. I don't know very much about transgender issues at all, and so I had to do a lot of research on it and digging on it. I actually reached out to one of your patrons about it to find out a little bit more about it.
There are a lot of us that are really learning a lot about this on the fly because, outside of the last, 12 months or so, like this really wasn't talked about very much, unless you were really trying to do research about this, and a lot of people don't know anybody who's going through all this. So we're learning. I think everybody that I've seen, for the most part, 99.9% of the people that I've seen, everybody is very accepting and excited, but we're learning some of the terminology here on the fly. So please, if you know everything there is to know, just please, I'm asking, also have patience. We will not have patience for anybody who's being hateful, but if somebody is just learning, or it's just get something wrong because they just don't know, let's also have patience there too, because I think that this is going to be a very contentious thing, because Big Brother, in its own way, no matter who's in the house, you see a lot of infighting in the community, and I feel like that this could be a perfect storm this summer, where we have everybody who feels very strongly about, very accepting, and then if there's people that are ignorant about what Audrey is going through, I think that this could make for a lot of chaos across the internet talking about this summer.
Right. I do want to say, too, about Audrey that I love the fact that they cast her, because this is not somebody who, to my eye, and I'm just going to say that to my eye, is transitioning. She appears to be a woman in spirit and in life. So, I love it that when you meet her and you talk to her and you think about her, that I don't even bat an eye. It's Audrey. That's all I see. I see a woman. I see life. I see love. I don't see anything other than what she's trying to present to me.
And also, I'm sure that at some point somebody will also, whether it's out of ignorance or whether it's from a different place, say something inappropriate on the live feeds also. And I'm sure that the internet is going to really have a lot to say about that as well. So that's going to be something to watch, and we will be following those stories as they unfold this summer. But let's talk about Audrey, the game player. And she's also not just a person who is a transgender house guest, but also is somebody who is coming into the game with a very unique strategy. If this person was just any other contestant, I think that we would be intrigued by her gameplay. That she's calling herself the Dexter Morgan of Big Brother. Taryn, does that mean anything to you?
Oh, yeah, I love Dexter. Oh, even though I never finished it because, we all know what happened to Dexter.
Hopefully, the game will end better for Audrey than Dexter the series.
Yeah.
More satisfying conclusion.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So what does that mean to you as a game player, a Dexter in the Big Brother house?
I actually just saw a Reddit thread recently that was like, if a fictional character could play Big Brother, who do you think would do really well? And I saw Dexter Morgan as a post, and I was like, that's totally true, because he's very good at compartmentalizing, his emotions and lying to people, and his whole persona is, he's got two sides to him. One is the innocent, blood analysis dude, and the other is this murderous killer. So, that sounds very intriguing to watch, for sure.
I don't want to spend too much time on Dexter, the character, but do you feel like his ability to connect with people would serve him well in the Big Brother house? I feel like that he would struggle with the making real connections with people, and if that is, again, I don't know how much Audrey is going to go full Dexter, but I don't think that he would be particularly good at the social part of the game.
Yeah, that's true. He had a couple of people who he really connected with, and I think that's probably going to be true of Audrey. She'll probably find a couple of people who she really connects with, and try and work from there.
Yeah. Um, let's talk about her in terms of the game, Brent. And so tell me about how you think that the strategy will unfold in the house. And do you feel like if she makes this big reveal on the opening night, will that buy her a few weeks of goodwill with the house?
Yes to the second question. I think it will buy her 1 week of goodwill with the house. If she's a totally unlivable house guest to live with, I don't think it's going to buy her any more time. But I think that the other house guests, especially some of the worldly people that are in the house, like Austin and Vanessa, I don't think that they want to be on national television evicting the first transgender house guest in the history of Big Brother on the first vote. It's just not a good look for them. I think they're cognizant of their image, and I don't think that they would do it. Outside of that, I think she's on her own, but I think she's safe for the first week.
It's such an interesting thing because you never really know how reality contestants are going to handle this. I recently watched Survivor Nicaragua, and in Survivor Nicaragua, there is a girl, Kelly Bruno, that has one leg. And almost universally, everybody in the cast is like, well, we got to vote out Kelly because she has one leg, and if she gets to the end, she's going to have sympathy and everybody's going to vote for her. And with as huge as the Caitlyn Jenner stuff is at this moment in time, and as fresh in the minds of the house guests that are going into the house, don't you feel like that there could be some sort of the mentality of, not that there's anything against her that she's transgender, but boy, this is going to be somebody like an Alyssa thing where America is going to love this person. They're going to get whatever America's vote there is to get, that they've got this great story. Could this potentially make her a target, Brent?
It could if the people in the house were smarter, but I don't think the people in the house are smarter. I think that they're worried about how they're going to look, and I think they're probably going to give her a pass. I do agree with you that there's a possibility that if she doesn't connect and form bonds with people during that first, 7 to 9 days that the feeds aren't on, I think she could be in danger. But I have faith listening to her talk with the interviewers, that she will be able to form at least enough bonds with the people who are close to her in order to stay safe. I think so. And let me just say, also, going into this season, yes, I have a little bit of bias. I love Audrey. I hope she does well. I mean, Johnny Mac and Audrey Final 2, I'm totally in. So don't kill me that my biases are showing. I'm rooting for Audrey, and I want her to do well. That said, I think I can be objective about it, and I do think that there's a small chance that Audrey could go out first, but I do think she's safe for the first week.
Because, Taryn, if there's anything that reality TV show contestants hate, it's people that take the spotlight off of them. You have to know going into it, I mean, that Julie Chen was crying on the talk yesterday talking about Audrey. Don't you think that there could be some resentment of her from the other house guests, considering that they have to, if they've ever seen the show before, they have to know that she's going to be the focus of a lot of the storytelling, at least early on?
I can definitely see that setting in after a couple of weeks. I don't think it will set in immediately. I don't think they're going to be worrying about that too much immediately. I think they're going to be worrying about themselves and, am I going to get evicted? Am I going to get targeted? After a couple of weeks, they're going to start to think, okay, how is America perceiving me? Is she taking up all the airtime? That could definitely hurt her, but it may not. It could go either way. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know.
Did anything else from Audrey's bio jump out to either of you guys, or any of her interviews that she did?
Very into astrology.
Astrology, okay. Yes. Like Max Dawson?
Yeah, she can probably list all the signs of the Big Brother winners.
Right.
Yeah, she does seem a little bit. Out there. For all the great things that I love about her, she does seem a little bit nuts, and I mean that in the best possible way. Like, yeah. I love the fact that she seems to have some parts of her that she's totally insane with. She just loves Big Brother. She loves the cutthroat nature of it. She loves the fact that if there are threats in the house, they gotta go. I love that fact about her. So I hope she does well.
she's a digital media consultant, and Big Jeff asked her about that, and I thought that she had sort of like a convoluted answer about how she works from home, she posts selfies on Facebook, and she is like on Facebook a lot of times. Like, do either of you guys have a good read on what a digital media consultant is? Am I a digital media consultant?
I'm thinking so. You guys could start a club.
It kind of felt like she blew up her own spot. She was like, yeah, so digital media consultant basically means that I update, the social media sites for the companies I work for, run their social media sites and stuff like that, which basically means that I'm sitting at home on Facebook taking selfies all day.
Okay, so if Audrey's boss is watching, then they will know exactly what's going on. So now this is going to be very interesting. Now, if you're Audrey, are you going nuts when the Caitlyn Jenner stuff breaks? That she could have been the person who was getting, sitting down with Diane Sawyer?
Well, we just don't know what order it happened in. That's the thing. It's so. I mean, it was so close together. I mean, what Caitlyn Jenner happened, and the cover of Vanity Fair happened 2.5 weeks ago. So I mean, it's so close to me in terms of I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing.
Okay.
It's impossible to tell.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's start to take some questions from you guys about Audrey here tonight. All right, let's start this off. Hashtag RHAP. And here is our first question about Audrey, and this is from Coballer1155, who said, do you think when Audrey tells everyone she's transgender, she will have a target because any America's Vote, she has it locked? Well, this is what we were talking about with America's Vote. So you guys all say no, right?
Not for the first few weeks, yeah.
Well, I think that people will be afraid to target her because they won't want to be perceived as being anti-transgender. But the thing is, it's not so much it's anti-transgender, it's that they realize that people are going to be so pro-transgender that they're worried about it. It's almost like it would be better for her in the house if people were more anti-transgender. Then when she wouldn't have as big of a target.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly how Big Brother works, and I've never really gotten a straight answer on this. But I don't. Let's just say that the first head of household, assuming there is one head of household at the beginning, I don't know how that's going to work. They decide that they're thinking about nominating Audrey. Let's just say that, okay?
Okay.
And they go in the diary room, and then the producer starts asking them some questions, and inevitably, I have to believe that one of the producers is going to ask them, so, do you think that you'll get any backlash for nominating the first transgender hit? I'm serious. I can see them asking a somewhat leading question that way. They say they don't ask, direct questions, but I can see them asking a leading question, and I think that would get the current head of household thinking that maybe this isn't such a good idea.
Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be top of mind. You think about a million different things when you're in there. I think that Audrey will be safe early, but I do think that it will be something that pops up in people's minds of, boy, especially if she gets some sort of America's Choice or something like that, like somewhat early on. I think that could be very telling for the other house guests. Okay, let's keep going. More questions about Audrey. From The Basketball Boss says, do you think your public service announcement to transgender BB fans during the BB think tank led to Audrey? No, obviously I don't think that that's what happened. But again, I try to put myself in the mind of people that are doing this for a job. What's hot? What do we think we're going to see? And I didn't need my astrology book to be able to tell that one of these shows, whether it was going to be Survivor or The Amazing Race or Big Brother, was going to bring somebody in. And it's about time. It's about time. And
yes, it is.
Good for Big Brother. All right. So let's go to Jeremiah Yap, who says, do you think that Audrey is that big of a super fan that she knows all the winners' astrological signs? Probably not, right?
I don't know. I mean, Taryn, what do you think? She seemed like she was kind of like I said, I have read, and I don't know how much of it's true, but I have heard that she plays a lot of these online games, and she's pretty cutthroat, and she made up some story about something and ended up winning a game because of the sympathy. And I don't know what's true and what's not. I'm just saying that there's a lot out there, and where there's smoke, there's fire. So I think she's a gamer, and I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her.
Yeah. I'd be willing to bet that she has, at least the last couple seasons, she's mapped out every single person's astrological sign and tracked like how well they did based on that. Based on what I saw in her bio, she seems like like that would be her kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Go to Hi-Hat. Says, do you think any of the men are going to be interested in Audrey? I don't think she's interested in showing. So she said that this was not something that she was going to be going for in the house, but who knows? Who knows?
Well, what about the men? I mean, I have to be fair about it. I mean, what if the men are attracted to her and they want to get with her I'm serious.
Well,
it's
it would be one hell of a story for Big Brother 17, and it would be in the producer's wildest dreams for that to unfold.
Well, I'm just saying that I think it's pretty amazing that the first transgender house guest in the history of Big Brother is one of the smokingest hot persons that's ever been in the Big Brother house. Like, she is absolutely gorgeous. I just love her.
Look, we'll see how it unfolds. Anything could happen. Expect the unexpected, Brent.
Okay.
This is from Trent Williams. Says, this is not only the first season to have a transgender, but also the first season to have 3 of the LGBT. Audrey is transgender, Jason is gay, and Vanessa is bi or lesbian, as she was married to a man before but now has a girlfriend. Wow. So out of 14 people.
Yeah, I don't know about that last one. That was a little bit vague. Like I said, Vanessa, she always seemed pretty hetero to me, and I'm not the ultimate arbiter of who's hetero, who's not, and who's in between. But I thought she was just saying in her interview that she had a girlfriend, as in like my mom would talk about her girlfriend Pam or something like that back at home, who was taking care of things for her. I don't definitely know that she is a part of the LGBT community.
She did refer to herself as a lesbian in the interview with Rachel, I think.
Okay, I haven't watched that one yet because those were coming up so slowly. Gosh.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, cool. All right, well, good for her.
All right. So there's Audrey. How far do you guys think Audrey can go in this game? Thumbs up, thumbs down? All right, start with you, Brian.
My heart says final 2. My brain says early jury.
Early jury.
Yeah. She's so smart. I feel like they're going to pick up on that, and I feel like she's a little bit too cutthroat for her own good. Like she might play the game too hard, too fast, and get caught in a few issues. So yeah, I don't know. I'm worried about her. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think there'll probably be some goodwill for her in the beginning because she's gonna open up right off the bat. Letting people know, who she is. That's going to be a moment, I think. It's sharing something that's personal to her, and people are going to respect that, and they're going to appreciate that.
Right.
And I think that's going to carry her for a little while, and then she's going to slip up a little bit, and people are going to go, whoa, you're really wolfy. Like, you're playing this game, aren't you? And then,
right.
The target's going to go on her.
I agree with that assessment as well. I think that she's going to eventually, people are going to realize, boy, she's really smart, and I think that that's going to put a target on her back along the way, especially coupled with, boy, what a story she has to tell in the final 2. Could I put on the tinfoil hat here for a minute and just talk about the TMZ thing that I mentioned earlier? So Audrey has this plan that she's going to reveal to the house guests on the first night that she is a transgender Big Brother contestant. TMZ gets this information and runs with the story, and then Julie Chen comments on it. You don't think that the show wants us to know this ahead of time, right?
Oh, I think they do want us to know ahead of time. I think everybody and their mother. How would we know
to tune in to the first show if we didn't know this?
Yeah, exactly. If you didn't,
don't we want to be there to see it?
Right, exactly. If they kept this totally a secret and didn't tell a soul, and then she told everybody on the first night, there'd be no one. Well, there'd be people watching, but not as many people as they want. But now there's going to be tons of people who are not normally interested. Rob, you're always talking about how to try to get people to watch Big Brother who aren't normally already watching Big Brother. And they think of all these twists, and of course they never do anything to bring new people into the house. This is something that can bring some new people into the house. Now, I don't know how long they're going to stay, but they're going to be there for the first episode, and they may stay longer. So.
Yeah, like the whole thing, the TMZ thing. I went back and I read the TMZ article today just to take a look at who the sources were on that. And the article, I'm reading from TMZ. Audrey Middleton, who will be one of the house guests on the upcoming Big Brother, was not always Audrey. She was born Adam. TMZ has learned that Audrey will become the first transgender on the U.S. version of the show, and she plans to use the program as a showcase similar to what Caitlyn Jenner has been doing. Like, who would leak that? Like, where did that leak come from?
No, I think your tinfoil hat is well placed at this point. Yeah.
Like, it's not even a quote. It's just like, oh, she's gonna be the next Caitlyn Jenner. Like,
Yeah,
oh, okay,
exactly.
I guess I better tune in to see that. All right, so that is Audrey, and we wish the best of luck. And certainly at this point, the most exciting and thought-provoking thing going into Big Brother 17. All right, let's turn to our other contestants that we're going to see, the other 6 women. Let's start here with B is for Beckers, for Becky. You guys ready to talk about Becky?
Yeah. Let's talk about Becky.
Let's talk about Becky. She is from Denver. She's a retail manager, and felt like she's really vanilla.
Yep.
Yeah.
B is also for bland. Becky seems very nice. She seems very nice, but she couldn't even answer Big Jeff's question, would you rather win the game and be hated or lose and be loved? She was like hemming and hawing, like, I don't know. Oh, Becky.
Yeah, her personality type I typically think is the one that's probably going to be laying low for a long time and make it pretty far in the game but never really have much impact. And she pretty much comes out and says, my strategy is I want to lay really, really low as much as possible in the beginning, and then hopefully toward the end I can start winning competitions. And then so she might be somebody that perks up at the end and becomes kind of like a dark horse that people start to enjoy, but I think for a while she's going to be really quiet and people are going to think she's pretty boring.
Yeah, Brent, I thought that she's going to be this season's Amber. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I actually enjoyed her a little bit. I thought she was good in terms of the listening department and empathy department. I feel like she could, the few interviews that I've seen with her, I felt like even though she couldn't answer that question very well, she seemed that she bonded well with people, like that she cared about what they thought and what they were saying. So that's something that would serve her well in the Big Brother house. But yeah, she does seem pretty vanilla. It's so hard with a few of these girls because they tend to blend together. And Becky was the worst one of all. I mean, I was just trying to find something that I could latch onto to say, okay, I know who she is and I know what she's about.
She likes hiking.
She does. She's hiked a big old mountain.
She likes to go
15,000 feet.
She likes to go hiking. Yeah. Yes. They asked her, which past Big Brother cast member did you like most? Brendan from season 12. He was relatable, smart, attractive, and fit. He was not too radical in any behavior, and I feel like that made him a strong competitor. I feel like that's such a weird description of Brendan. That I like him because he wasn't too radical.
She was also the one that said, I want to be really kind and moral in the house because Andy went pretty far, and he was really kind and moral.
Well, he was kind and moral to their face, and then after they saw the show, they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I wish that there was more to say here about Becky, but I really have almost nothing to sink my teeth into.
Well, I will say the fact that she has traveled a bit. She seems, she's what, 26. She's got a little bit more life experience than some of these other people. I feel like that could serve her well in the house. I don't know. It's so tough to get a good read on her. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Okay.
Oof. Yeah.
Tara, did anything jump out to you about Becky in our interviews, our preseason stuff?
Like I said, I think she's gonna do well. I just don't think she's gonna be the most interesting character we're gonna see on the screen.
Yeah. No, I can't see her being a target. She seems like she's gonna be in the middle. Any chance of a showmance for Beckers?
Well, I mean, there's only a couple of guys that are hook-upable in the house, I guess. So
yeah. I will have to say I would be very surprised if we see a lot of showmances in the Big Brother 17 house. It's almost like that this is they've sort of like, there's going to be maybe at most, like, how many combinations do we have here for possible showmances? It doesn't seem like a lot.
I think Liz and Clay are probably going to be the focal points.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much of Clay is there to go around?
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe this is going to help out a guy like John. John is there to showmance too.
Oh my gosh, yes. I can only hope, Rob. Oh my gosh, he's lovely. Oh my gosh, He's just insane. I love him. He's so funny.
Oh, all right. Let's stick to Becky here. I think we're all in agreement that she's going to be around for a bit. Becky, even though we don't have too much to say about her, she is the all-American girl next door, who the men will fall in love with and the girls will want to befriend. Now, does she write that herself, or like who writes that sort of copy?
That has to be some intern that wrote that. I will say just really quickly that I don't necessarily co-sign the two of you in terms of that she's going to be around for a while. I do think she might be in danger of being put up as a pawn. Like she's so non-threatening and so vanilla. I mean, you know, there are people in the house that you want to stay away from. Well, I don't want to put them up because they're a threat, or I don't want to put them up because their friends will come after me. Her, I don't think you're going to be afraid of, so she could be in danger of being put up as a pawn, and we know what happens to pawns, so... there's a possibility. You know, Brittany in Big Brother Canada 3 got put up so much in the beginning because she seemed so non-threatening and she was sort of kind of boring in the beginning. You know, remember that? So I think that Becky could definitely fall into that role, much to her detriment.
Okay, let's start to take some questions from you guys, and let's see what you guys are saying about Becky. Jaden says, I do not know what Becky is going to offer during the season. I see the girls liking her pretty well, and she could get along with some guys, but I don't know if a showmance will kind of ruin that. She's a big question mark for me. Yeah, I think that's very fair. But I almost feel like she's such a question mark that she's almost not a question mark. She's just going to be sort of there. Like, I don't think that we're going to be walking away from this season like, wow, what a great character, what a great game. I think she's just going to be one of the people that was sort of a floater and that was sort of forgettable. Right. Am I being too harsh, Taryn?
I don't think so. I think that's a pretty reasonable assumption.
I mean, I hope she proves us wrong. Yeah, I mean, I hope she totally proves us wrong and says, screw you guys, I'm going to show you what I'm made of. But I have to agree that your assessment of it is probably correct, Rob.
And I have been way wrong on some of these shows. That I've never been more wrong on anybody in the history of doing these cast assessments than I was on Derek last year. That's probably the epitome of me being absolutely wrong.
The epitome of a real wrong gentleman.
That's right. That's right. So Becky, we could be dead wrong on Becky. Who knows? Super Factor says, could Becky be the next Victoria? She could be a big-time floater. There will never be another Victoria.
One of a kind.
She's one of a kind.
Exactly.
Okay. John Johnston says, who will have a showmance with Becky? Now, she has a great smile. Could that bring in John the dentist? Could he say, wow, boy, what great teeth you have?
I think she's a little too vanilla for Johnny Mac, rocker, dentist boy. Yeah, he seems like he needs somebody a little bit more high speed.
I think her smile is too good. She won't want to talk about her teeth because they're already perfect.
Yeah. No, people with really good teeth like to talk about their teeth too. They want to tell you like what they're doing and everything like that. They want to talk about the teeth just as much as people with bad teeth. Yeah. That goes like for diet also. I think that people, like the people that have a bad diet want to talk about, or sometimes they don't want to talk about. But if they do want to talk about, they want to talk about what they're doing, what's not working, and the people that it's working, they want to talk about what's working also. Okay. This is from Philly Sports 0822. I like Becky. She's athletic and could win a lot of comps. Could Becky be playing hard to get and not saying anything in the interviews? Well, why would she do that?
Yeah, come on. Yeah. I mean, who's she hiding from, you know? I mean, the only person I saw that was holding back was Audrey. She was not telling people that she was transgender. She was hinting at it, but she wasn't telling them outright. Everyone else, I think they were, you know, what you see is what you get with them.
Yeah. She was very coy. Audrey was very coy in her interviews, especially with Jeff. She's like had his head spinning.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Being very
I wonder. I wish I could find out if he knew when he was interviewing her that she was the first transgender house guest in history.
I wish that he did know. Yeah, maybe he's trying to pull it out of her, because I wish that she would have made the announcement to Big Jeff on camera. That would have been something.
When she talked about bringing a unique character and perspective, Jeff kind of had like a knowing smile, like, okay, let's leave it at that.
Yeah. I think they knew. Because I don't think they wanted him to probably say they probably warned him like, hey Jeff, let's not talk about anything anything dicey with Audrey. because we don't need to revisit all that. Christopher Frick says, Becky, I think you're one of the nicest people I've ever met, and you put what's good for others before it's good for you. Unfortunately, that makes you a terrible Big Brother player. Yes, maybe what I said to Shauna for her goodbye messages.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds a little familiar, but maybe they obviously knew that. Yeah. I was like, where have I heard that before?
James says, I completely disagree. She has a plan and seems precise and cutthroat. I don't know where James is getting his. Maybe TMZ leaked that for James.
She does have a plan, and I think it might be effective. I just don't think she'll be a very exciting character unless she's like really good in the diary room.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is a longer question about Becky. This is from Trent, and Trent wants to know. All right, let's get to the top of this. I think Becky has a chance to go far, if not win the whole thing. She runs businesses and even has one internationally, so she knows how to deal with all kinds of different people. I can see her easily getting into a season-only showmance and manipulating a guy to take her all the way. I think if there would ever be a girls' alliance, she would be a good leader of the alliance. And boy, to that, I think that we might have to play the...
I'm like a storyteller. That's what I do.
No evidence to support that. I don't know. Maybe it's possible, but it seems like a little bit of a stretch there, an extrapolation.
Yeah.
All right. And Carlos V says the biggest problem with Becky could be that she becomes this year's pawn of choice, where she's consistently on the block because she's too nice.
Yes, that's my worry with her.
She's very nice. She's very nice. All right. Let's move on from Becky. Somebody in the chat room is saying, oh my God, too much, wasting so much time on Becky. Cut to the comment, and somebody's like, oh, they didn't spend enough time on Becky. Okay, let's go to our next person, and alphabetically, that is I want to make sure I'm pronouncing her. Is it Davon?
Davon.
Davon. Okay, we'll go with that. And again, if we're pronouncing it incorrectly, we will get it right by the time the season starts. And here's Davon. And this is a very interesting dynamic that we have here, because Davon is a poker dealer, and we'll talk about Vanessa later, who's a poker player. And we'll talk about Vanessa later on. But what an interesting dynamic. Only 7 women in the house. One's a poker dealer, one's a poker player. And we will talk about how that is going to all work out. But here's Davon. She's from Inglewood. She's 27. She is another Big Brother super fan. She's seen every season of the show and is certainly a character. So, all right, Taryn, let's start with you on Davon. Your thoughts?
The first thing I wrote down was Davon has a daughter.
Yes, he does.
That was a pretty big topic.
7-month-old.
Yep.
7-month-old. Wow.
Yeah. She just got out of a long-term relationship too, so she's going into the house with a lot of, stuff left behind.
Yeah, but you know what? I know some people are going to kill her for leaving her 7-month-old at home to go play Big Brother. But I mean, if you're Davon and you have a chance to really change the life course of that kid's life, like, I think maybe it is worth it to go try, for a 1 in 14 chance of really altering the life of that baby.
Yeah, it's got to be really hard for her to do it too, and I don't think anybody should be making judgments about that kind of thing.
Yeah, so good for her. She's in the mix. I thought she had a really cool story of that she used to watch Big Brother every season with her grandmother who died. And then she had to watch Big Brother 16 all by herself, so she decided to go and be on the show this year, Brent.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I think about Davon. She seems like she could go far. She seems like she knows the game. She seems personable. She seemed like she had a ton of energy when she was talking to Big Jeff, and I really enjoyed that. That being said, I do worry about if her heart is going to be pulled by the fact that she has a little girl at home. It is a little girl, right? 7-month-old girl. And she's worrying about her and worrying about, inevitably when these single parents go into the house and they leave little kids at home, there's always a day where they feel like, oh, I'm being a bad parent by coming here. Why did I come here? She's going to have a day like that. And I wonder if she's going to be able to get through that or not.
It certainly will be a challenge. It's a long season, but I feel like she's tough. I actually really liked her from what I saw in her interviews.
I think she has potential. My biggest concern with her is that she might come off as a little bit abrasive, a little bit intimidating, and she mentioned that she doesn't like teaming up with people. She likes to go solo, and that's not really something you can do in the Big Brother house. I think
Right.
her best case scenario is actually probably if she does hook up with Vanessa, and Vanessa is kind of the opposite of her. They're both strategic, but one is, kind of loud and social, and the other is kind of quieter and more like strategic, probably. So I think they'd be a good combination if they work together.
Okay, well, let's put a pin in that until we get to Vanessa,
Right.
talking about the Davon and Vanessa pairing up. So some other things about her is that she's really there to play. I thought she was very fun. She talked about how she loves Rachel and she hated Rachel, and she got on Rachel. She said that Rachel is a crybaby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She said it right to Rachel's face too. It's
Yeah, I like that. I feel like she has a really good charisma, and I'm high on Davon.
I'm high-ish on Davon. Like I said, I still worry about the fact that she's a single parent. She's going to be worrying about her daughter at home. But if she can get past that, I like what she has to say. I like her energy. She seemed like she bonded well. Again, this is something I'm always looking for. How do they bond with the interviewers? Do they seem like they're nervous talking to them, or do they seem like they want to get to know them? And if they seem like they want to get to know them, then I feel like that means that they're going to do well in the Big Brother house, that they seem like that they can listen to people and listen to their stories, listen to their questions, and feel like that they can empathize with them. That's a big skill to have in there.
Yeah, for me, that's like the biggest thing that I'm looking for is just how well they're going to be able to connect with the other people in the house. Because I feel like so much of Big Brother and Survivor is just how can you make friends? How could you just be popular going into there? And then on top of that, you have to have that skill set. On top of being popular, then you have to have a plan. So some people, they have a plan, but they can't be popular, and other people can be popular, but they don't have a plan. And I'm hoping that Davon is a good cross-section of being able to combine those two skill sets.
Yeah,
Right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Saren. Go ahead.
Speaking of her plans, I do like some of her ideas. She wants to be, if possible, the third person left in the HOH comp before she drops, because she wants to prove that she is a competitor, but not strong enough that she can beat people. She also doesn't want to be the HOH. She wants two people on her team, two close allies, a ride and die like a Memphis, and a flunky,
Right.
so she calls, like Keisha.
Yeah, flunky like Keisha.
Yeah.
How about that?
Right. I love that she knew the term ride or die. I mean, that made me happy. I'm hoping that she can pull that off. I don't know that it's a great strategy to be third in the HOH competitions if you're not going to win it. I mean, that seems like you're getting none of the reward and all of the flack for being, oh, she's a strong competitor, we got to get rid of her. So I don't know that I love that plan, but it's her plan. Go on, girl.
By the way, talking about a flunky like Keisha reminded me of a bunch of the hate mail that I got when we did the Big Brother Second Chances, which we've never revealed the results of. And remind me at the end of this podcast, I will reveal who got voted into Big Brother Second Chances.
Oh, this is
At
exciting.
the end of this podcast, we got so much hate mail from that podcast. All right, so Davon, I think she's going to be really fun. She says, watch me work. I'm really interested to see her. Boy, Jeff seems to know a lot about poker and all this stuff, and he's talking about how much he's losing. Jeff doesn't have a gambling thing, does he?
I don't know, but he might be out there in LA just playing in some home games or cash games.
Well,
and,
what's going on there?
I don't
Jeff
know.
is down on his luck on the poker. Okay.
It's funny. He had the same attitude about poker as he did with Big Brother. It's like that damn clown shoe. He was like,
Yeah.
oh, man, just poker, man.
Yeah. Where was that extra two? It was in my hand a minute ago. Where did it go?
Oh, God.
This is from Ryan. Ryan says that Davon seems like she'll be great TV, but she will be targeted early for having such a big personality. Is that possible? Who gets targeted for having a big personality?
I don't know. I think some people do. I will say by virtue of the fact that
You
she's
get
the only
targeted for
African.
a bad personality, not a big personality.
I think that it's possible. Look, anything that sets you apart from anybody else is going to be it's going to be a detriment. And by virtue of the fact that she's got a ton of energy, that she's pretty loud, that she's religious, that she's the only African American girl in a cast of 7, I think that could set her apart from people and say, well, let's put up her. I mean, if she doesn't, she's got to bond with people. I feel like she did a good job of that in her interviews, but I want to see her do it in the house.
Okay. All right, let's take another question about Davon from Jorge. Jorge Alvarado says, what can Davon do to avoid the reality TV trope where the person from minority background goes home early? Well,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's so hard to say that is always the thing, and I'd really have to go back and crunch the numbers on Big Brother versus Survivor versus The Bachelor.
Kind of. Well, I'll say this. She seems to know Big Brother more than the other contestants that in the past have known Big Brother. So I will give her that she seems to have a plan. She knows what she's going to do. I don't necessarily agree with her plan, but at least she has one, and that's saying a lot considering the other people in the past haven't had a plan. So I think she has more of a chance to better the placement of previous minority contestants in the past few seasons of Big Brother. But I also think it's a bit unfair to look at just the past few seasons of Big Brother and say, well, those minority contestants didn't do so well, so how is she going to avoid that? I don't know that that's a fair question.
Okay. This is from Dylan. And Dylan says, I don't understand why Davon doesn't want people to know she's a poker dealer. I think that people would be threatened by I don't think people would be threatened by that, and lying to say you're a school teacher is risky. Teachers have good kid stories, and I hope that she's a good liar or storyteller. I like her. I'm just worried she might get caught or seem disingenuous to the house guests. She's not going to tell people she's a poker dealer.
I actually have her exact reasoning. Right, okay. To be a great poker dealer, you have to be a great poker player. And to be a great poker player means you have to know the art of the bluff. And as we all know, bluffing means lying. So she doesn't want anyone to know she's a good liar.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I will just say that her statement is not true. I'm a dealer and I'm a terrible poker player, so that's definitely not true. But
is Big Jeff a poker dealer?
Huh? What did you say?
Is Big Jeff a poker dealer too? Is that why he's bad?
No, I think it's A. A is B, but B is not necessarily A in this case. So yeah, I think Big Jeff is just playing. See, he's playing some home games and he's getting his butt handed to him. That's what's happening with Big Jeff.
Poor Big Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay. Jacob wants to know, Davon is my winner pick. She seems to have a good head, and I think that she has all the personal tools to make it to the end of the game. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, definitely possible.
I was high on Davon. Okay.
It's Davon. Is
Davon.
Like a day. Davon. Like the accent's on the day. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. I get 1 day of I get a pass on one podcast on
yes, totally. I'm just trying to help you out. Yeah.
All right. Then Nancy says, I love how Davon, well, when I first saw her, and I loved her energy. She'll definitely make it pretty far.
I loved her energy too. Her energy was great, and not only that, it was absolutely infectious. She was like right up there in terms of anybody that of the 14 contestants that I've seen thus far. I think she had the most energy. Maybe Johnny Mac had more energy, but I thought that Davon, I think I'm even saying it wrong now. It's Davon. She bonded well with people when she was talking with them, and I think that I hope she goes far. I would love to see it. I definitely have some favorites this season.
Like, I don't know how you guys out there experience or consume these interviews, but sometimes they're hard to get through. I really feel like, especially like there's some people they just can't hold your attention. But she was somebody that was really fun watching her. Like there's some of them where it's like, oh my God, this is only 5 minutes. This is the longest 5 minutes of my life. And there's other people it goes by very quickly, and she was one of the people that it actually went by pretty quick.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see for Davon. All right. Let's go to our next person. Here she is, number 4, I believe. Here is Liz Nolan, and she is the marketing coordinator from Miami, and she's outgoing, likable, and determined. She's hanging out in Miami. She's on boats, and here she is. I put in my notes, Risha's daughter. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That spells bad things for the first night.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know,
but
showing not first night, week 2. She's gonna get the model curse week 2 for Liz. All right. Let me start with you, Brent. Tell me about Liz.
Well, I mean, the first thing you notice about Liz is her voice. I mean, my goodness. I mean, I haven't heard.
Notice?
It was. Well, I'm more on the non-hetero side of things, so I didn't really notice anything else about her. But her voice was like, just this side of B. Arthur. It was so sultry and raspy, and it was something you're definitely going. I mean, that's how I knew who she was. Okay, she's the girl with that sultry voice. I knew who she was, and I knew how to identify her. I thought it was. I don't know what to make of this girl. I mean, she met Portia on some boat. Now she's on Big Brother.
Darren, tell us the origin story of Liz Nolan.
I don't know if it goes much further than that. She said she met Portia on the boat, and Portia told her she'd be great on the show, and here she is. And she's blonde. I think that had something to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Is Portia authorized to make these calls for Big Brother?
I want to know where this boat is. Like she said, I love it that she said, I met Portia on the boat. I'm like, exactly. So there's the boat? Like, what is the boat? I want to know what the boat is and how to get there.
But it's a fun boat. Portia hangs out on.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, she loves Florida too. Let me tell you, she can tell you all about Florida, Miami, all the places she's been, all the people she's meeting and been a part of, and yeah. So I don't know, what is there to say more about her than she's met Portia, she got on the show because of that essentially, and she's from Florida, and she has a sultry voice, and she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
She wants to be very flirty.
Oh, surprise!
That's her strategy in the house.
Very flirty.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Well, I think that's what she's there for.
Yeah.
She is there to showmance. That Jeff didn't even have to ask her. She said that she is single and ready to mingle and eat Pringles.
Yes.
Where did Pringles get involved?
It would also be hard for her to separate her feelings from the game. So that says to me that she's ready for a showmance, and she can't wait for there to be one. So yeah.
They asked her, what do you think will be the most difficult part about living inside the Big Brother house, sharing a bathroom, also being careful not to walk around naked? Okay?
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I was rolling my eyes on that one too.
Yeah. The biggest thing for Liz, I think, is going to be how will she get along with the other women in the house. Brent, do you have any thoughts on this?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It's so hard to see them, before you actually see them interacting with each other to make an assessment. My gut instinct says that they probably won't like her. I think that she'll come off a little, I don't know what the word is without being offensive. A little bimbo-ish. I don't know if that's a bad word or not. But she seems like she just can't. It's hard for the other women to take her seriously. And especially if she's so into looking for a showmance right off the bat. She may be one of these girls that can get into a showmance and be safe in that, and have the guy like Clay be the target and her always be behind him. But outside of that, I don't know that she's going to get along well with the other women. Taryn, what do you think?
Yeah, she mentioned specifically, I don't know if she mentioned it in all of her interviews. She said absolutely no to an all-girl alliance. She is not into that at all.
Right.
She doesn't get along with girls very much. And she wants to team up with an alpha male, so pretty much exactly what you said.
Okay.
So we'll see. But if it's not Clay, then who?
She's definitely going for Clay. Who does she go to next?
What about Austin? Is Austin in the mix here?
Austin's a good-looking dude. Yeah, I thought you were a little hard on Austin last night.
I was pro Austin.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Ian was a little hard on Austin.
Pro Austin.
Yeah. I mean, I know you liked him as far as the game goes, but I thought, looks-wise, I think he's gorgeous, and he cleans up well. So I think he'll look. When
did he clean up?
Rob. Okay, I'm just saying he's not Clay, but he's a gorgeous guy. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. Well, we'll see. Yeah, maybe that she could be like a WWE diva for Austin.
Yes. She can get off the boat.
I don't know if Austin goes for her though.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. This is going to be a fun experiment. Let's see how this all goes. You know that Liz is going to attempt to, and I talked about this in Big Brother Canada a lot, and I talked about the plight of the sexually aggressive Big Brother female, that she gets really one shot at that trapeze bar, and if she latches onto the guy, then she's going to be around for a while, but if she goes for it and can't grab onto the guy, she's going to be out first or second.
I remember you said that. It's all coming back to me now, and that's such a great analogy. Like, I'm picturing her reaching for it and missing. It's just going to be fabulous television.
She falls off the boat.
She's off the boat.
So we'll see.
Oh God.
We'll see. She wants to bring a disposable camera to take pics. That is wrong on so many levels.
Who uses disposable cameras anymore?
Right.
I haven't seen one in years.
I guess it's common practice on boats.
Maybe.
Is that what's
I don't
gonna
know.
happen? Is that what happened? Yeah, and there really would be no other way to record her time in the Big Brother house either if she didn't have a disposable camera. What do you even do with a disposable camera in 2015? Like, where do you take a disposable camera?
Exactly. Where do you take it? I don't know. Where do you take it?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh gosh. Liz, love you, Liz.
I know. Again, maybe we're being a little too hard. That she, from her bio, from the story that they give us, born and raised in Miami, Liz has become a mainstay on the Miami nightlife circuit. Whoa. More than just a pretty face, Liz is known as a bit of a brainiac, having graduated cum laude from, but spends plenty of time keeping up on pop culture.
Well, I don't doubt that she is smarter than the average hostess in Miami. She seems personable. She seems nice. She seems
marketing coordinator.
I apologize. I'm just kind of general. I remember Portia was like a hostess, wasn't she? I don't know. Oh, it all blends together after a while. Look, my point being that I think she's smarter than the average girl that they would pick up in Miami that would be on a boat with Portia. That's what I'm trying to say. She seems smart, personable, and witty. Aside from that, I don't know what else she's got going for her.
Yeah, her bio is really great. This whole story. So it'll be Liz wears her heart on her sleeve, but is a true romantic looking for love. It will be a little difficult for her to separate the game from her personal feelings, but she's well aware that her sultry, raspy voice and stunning looks can work magic with the men. Wow.
Yes, I know that she realizes she comes off as catty to the other women, but then says later on that she would like to be a friend to one of them.
Okay, all right, yeah, not high on this. All right, let's see what the questions. I'm a little shuddering to think what the questions are gonna have, but let's go to from Rachel E. Riley. We have a breaking news update from Rachel, and Rachel is telling us who was there. She did interviews as well, so we have breaking news coming in from Rachel Riley.
Breaking news are happening now.
All right, Rachel Riley is asking, do we know yet if she had a twin? She told me 10 months.
She does have a twin.
Project DNA is back in full effect with Liz. Could there be two Liz's?
I do think. Is it Shelly who also has a fraternal twin?
Yes. One of them has a fraternal twin. I don't know if it's Shelly.
I can't remember who the other one is.
Yeah.
But yeah, she definitely has a twin. So we could definitely see some Project DNA. I mean, if we're going to be having a twist every week.
Oh my gosh,
I
that would be
easily
fabulous.
see that being a week-long twist.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I am so in. That was my favorite twist ever. Oh my God, I love that twist.
So there's two of them? There's two Liz's in Miami? Oh my God. She has a twin, and according to somebody on Twitter, at BOC_Av, says she has a twin, and Julia, her twin's account is locked also.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. And that's fabulous. I can't wait to see them. If this is what they're doing, they're bringing back like past twists, every twist that they've ever done in the history of Big Brother, and they're going to be doing a different one every week.
Yeah. But what does Rachel mean about a lot of people are asking, what does Rachel mean about that she has a twin 10 months? That the twins 10 months apart?
I don't know. What does that mean? I didn't get that part. I just thought she had a twin.
I think they're twins 10 months apart.
That's not possible.
That's impossible.
One got left in there.
That's physically possible.
I mean, I guess she could have a sister that, like, maybe her mom had her and then instantly got pregnant again and then had a girl like 10 months later. I'm serious. That could happen.
I saw pictures. They look exactly alike as far as.
Well, maybe they're sisters and they look like twins. Maybe that's it. Okay.
I guess that's possible.
Okay.
All right.
I've
seen sisters that look exactly the same. So.
Super factor. Liz's plan is to get to the final two, find a man, get in the back seat, and let him drive, and look pretty in a bikini. Like I said, get to the final two. So that's the plan.
I think she's looking to get into the back seat and have him come in the back seat with her.
Yeah. Whoa.
Get in the back seat and let me drive.
Easy.
Who's driving the car?
You just put a whole new context on that soundbite.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's go to Christopher. For instance, do you think that Liz could be an asset in Alliance, or should it be someone who's used as an extra number?
Oh.
Depends on
I
if
don't
she
know.
knows the showmans, I think.
Yeah, if she grabs the trapeze, I think she's definitely part of it. She's into the men's alliance, or
Yeah, okay.
into a men's alliance. But if she's not part of the showmans, I think it's going to be tough sledding for her, because if she's not in a showmans and the women don't like her, and I'm not saying that that's necessarily the case, but that's just my read on the outside, and that's what she said in her bio, that women can find her to be a little bit aggressive and catty, then where's she going?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that there's going to be some tough sledding ahead for Liz.
Yeah.
I
think,
she's probably the person that we're going to talk about over.
Whoops.
Whoa.
Yeah, over. She's probably the person over these 2 nights that I have the worst feeling about, the worst vibe on. I think Liz, and watch she goes out to be the second coming of Derek, but I don't know. I'm worried. So we'll see. So Rachel is tweeting to me, and shout out to Brenchel if they're watching. It seems like they are tonight. And she says that she told me that it was her older sister, and that's what she said. So we're not sure. Does she have a twin, or it's her older sister? That we don't know. I guess we're still trying to sort that out. Somebody's sending me a picture of her with her twin, and I'm still waiting for the picture to load. Okay.
Like, reading between the lines, it seems like it's a sister who looks exactly the same as her. They say it's her twin, but it's not really her twin.
That must be it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there you go.
As long as she looks the same, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yes. So we'll see what happens. I can't imagine that we're gonna do Project DNA again, right?
It's been so long that none of them could remember it. I mean, it would go. Rob, that was what, season 5? Like, so 12 seasons later.
Do twists that are so far in the back that people don't remember them.
I don't know.
There have been theories that this whole twist every week thing is going to be sort of like they're going to do a twist from every season each week. So.
Well, I have some bad news for Big Brother, because Liz isn't making it to week 5.
I might have to go early.
Sorry about that.
Right. Yeah, if they do Project DNA, I have to believe they're going to do it like week 2. Like, there's no way they could just wait until week 5. I mean, and have it all blow up in their face, So, but week 2, week 3 seems like a good point to do it, I would love to see that again. I just love that twist.
Yeah.
The reveal where she came out and Julie was like, "You think you knew her," and then it was just great television.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture of her sister. I don't think she looks that alike. I think she's wearing the same outfit, sure, but I don't think that they look that similar. I don't know. All right, let's see.
Bad info from Rachel.
So, do you think Liz will be good at the challenges?
She says she wants to go all out on him. So.
Yeah, I do. I do think she'll be good at the challenges. She seems very capable and athletic and fit. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Also, and Ryan A. Carrillo is also reporting that her handler got a little crazy when we asked. Okay, so maybe where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay. We'll see.
All right.
And Joan3424 will give Joan the last word. Liz reeks of desperation. Hey, that is one hell of a perfume. Okay. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. All right, so let's talk about our next person here, and it's Meg.
Yay, Meg.
Meg is a server, and she's 25, and she is a friend of former 2014 Miss Survivor, Andrea Belke.
Yeah, I read that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right, so here is Meg. She seems fun, right?
She seems fun. She seems a little chatty, which can get a little annoying after a while. But yeah, she seems fun.
Yeah. I did feel like Meg is a little Kimmy Gibbler.
Yes, that is a great analogy, and I totally co-sign that.
What do you think,
Gibbler.
Darren?
Yes.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know?
Oh my God, and I feel so old.
Oh my God.
I knew you were going to come to me on that.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I
So
love it that he admitted it. Like, he could have just said, "Yeah, I agree, Rob," and like we would never have known. But now he's like, "I just got to get that in there. That I don't know who that is, and you two are old."
all right, yeah, I know. So here is Meg. So she is going to be seems like she's going to be fun. She loves Frankie Grande. It's too bad she won't be able to watch his live chat tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
bummer.
her life's motto is always yes. Whoa. That'll get you into trouble.
That explains why she's boy crazy then.
Yeah, that was her bio at the bottom of her bio. It says she's boy crazy and she swears by the girl code.
What is the girl code?
I don't
I'm
know.
asking-
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just the person that wrote those. It's just-
Yeah. It was not exactly Peggy Olson that wrote these. Meg says growing up in New Jersey was the best time of her life. She's been boy crazy and super competitive since she can remember. In high school, she decided to join the hockey and baseball teams so she could have her fix of flirting with the boys and competing.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It seemed like
That's
every
the
time.
movie.
It seemed like every time Rachel and Ryan brought up something from that part of the bio, the person in the interview was like really embarrassed about it. Like, how did you? Why are you saying that about me?
Yeah. Okay. Straight guys like her because she's an adorable blonde guy's gal, while gay guys love her sass, and girls love her because she's non-threatening and swears by the girl code.
Well, this gay guy didn't love her sass, so I don't know that that's necessarily true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. She seems fun. Is she gonna get on people's nerves in the house town?
Yeah, it's possible. She kind of has the same energy that Willow did from Big Brother Canada, if anybody saw that. And she got a little bit annoying in the house for the contestants. So, so it's certainly possible. It might just be nervous energy from the interviews. You never know at this point.
Like, I don't know if I think people like sass, but I think they like sass like in the Courtney Yates type of sass. Like, I feel like people like biting sass, not nice sass. Like they're like, hey, I love everybody. To me, that's not sass. That's like Michelle Tanner sass. That's another person that you don't know who she is, and she has a twin too, Taryn. They're gonna take over the house, and then that's when they're gonna get to Liz's twin.
I think that my assessment of Liz is she could be one of these girls that gets roped into the all-male alliance, like the Christines of the world, and she could be safe if that happens to her. But if that doesn't happen to her, I find her to be a little bit grating. And, Meg, I think, did I say Liz? Meg, I love you. She seems like a sweet girl, but she does come off a little bit grating, a little bit too nice, a little bit too syrupy, sugary. Those are the words I'm feeling when I would listen to her.
Yeah. And the name Meg is just ruined for me by Meg Griffin, that I just want people to just treat her with such disdain in the house. Like she's like, I've got an idea. Why don't we do this? Like, no, Meg, no, we're not doing that, Meg. That would really make me smile. All right, so and here's Meg, and she is she's a happy-go-lucky.
Mm-hmm.
She's terrified of being bored. This is not the place for her to go this summer.
Well, she does say that she's in her corner. She says she is adaptable to every social situation. She's likable and goofy and intelligent. And the thing that keeps coming up in her bio, though, it's like all over the place in every interview, is how boy crazy. That word, that phrase, just keeps coming up again. So I don't know really what she means by that, but I hope she does okay.
Yeah. So do you see Meg, the boy crazy, like she's the girl that's in the house that like has the thing for Clay, but she's in the friend zone? Is that how this plays out?
It's definitely possible. I mean, it's exactly what happened with Willow. So.
Yeah.
Why, who is Willow in the friend zone with?
Well, Zach.
Zach.
Okay. See,
And Sarah, to be fair.
Right? Isn't Meg like she's like this is like the romantic comedy, and she's like well, it's either it goes two ways. Either that it's like the She's All That, where she has the thing for the guy, and then he doesn't even notice that she's alive, and then she gets a makeover at some point
Takes
during
off
the
the
season.
glasses.
Yeah, but she doesn't have glasses, so I don't know if it's a She's All That
Oh,
or that
man.
she's just like the best friend in the romantic comedy.
I think she's going to be the best friend in the romantic comedy, and that actually might serve her better from a game point of view if she can pull that off, but I don't know that that's necessarily what she wants.
Yeah. All right. Well, how do we think Meg is going to do in the game?
She said she wants to play like the first half of Dan's Big Brother 10 game, but she doesn't know if she's like brave enough to do the second half. So we're probably going to see her trying to lay low in the beginning, and then when she has the opportunity to make a move, you know, she's probably going to continue to lay low.
The thing that I
Based on what
didn't
she said.
like, the thing that I didn't like about Meg is that she seemed to have like I didn't get the sense that she was bonding with the people that she was talking with, and that was something that I did get the sense of with other people. So I mean, if she can't bond with the people she's talking with, maybe it's, again, like Terrence said, maybe it's just nervous energy, but she's got to be able to do that. People have got to think that she cares about them or that she likes them in order for them to trust her and not to want to put her up. So I don't know, if she can't do that here, I don't know how she's going to do it in the house.
Yeah, I'm always suspect when somebody loves everybody. And like not everybody's lovable. That I don't think you can love everybody. Like I want to hear people be a little real. It's like, I love this person, and this person I just didn't think they were that great. And I'm worried about Meg, that it seems like she's way too much of everybody is great, and I don't know if that I find that to be authentic.
Yeah, she seems a little bit Peely from Big Brother Canada, you know, like the ready, okay kind of thing. You know?
But Peely was like, I feel like she didn't know better. Like I felt like Peely was, but Meg, I feel like it's maybe it feels a little forced to me.
Yeah, it does. It does feel a little bit forced, and like I said, it feels a little bit grating. But if she can hold it, I don't know. You know, I feel like your true self comes out in these things, and her true self was already coming out in the interviews. So I don't think that she can change that for the house. So
can I pitch you guys on something that I feel like Meg is trying to give you female Frankie Grande.
She loves Frankie Grande.
She loves Frankie Grande.
Yeah, too bad she can't see his interview.
Chef, she can't see his chat. Maybe when he goes in the house and takes over for a week, then she'll have plenty of time to catch up.
Oh, and you know that's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. And Audrey also knew Frankie Grande, so that is really like probably less than 2 degrees of separation between.
I was gonna say, is there a game? Is there a game on that?
Yeah. So I think that's definitely the case. All right, let's talk about Meg. Let's see what you guys have to say. Spicy Wasabi says, if Meg is a reason to get Audrey on a BB podcast, I'm all for it.
I agree.
Sure. Why not? All right. Here is from William Cook. Says, Meg is the hottest of the females, hands down. Okay. So if hey, look, if Meg is still boy crazy when she gets out, we got William Cook. All right, Rachel says, she reminds me of Lydia from BB11. You guys getting a Lydia vibe?
I mean, a little bit. She's got a little bit of that sort of rocker punk aspect of her, but I don't know. Lydia was a little bit more morose, and Meg seems so happy and sugary.
Yeah. Sugar Kuipery?
Well, yeah. Turns out to be nice.
Christopher Frick says, maybe one of the guests for BB Takeover will be Seth MacFarlane, and the twist is that Meg will be a have-not for the week.
Can he show up with Zingbot and just only do Meg Zings?
Yes. Zingbot should just completely, just only do Meg. That would be great. Good call on that. Miranda says, Meg seems like a copy of Joey. She says she's going to have to tone herself down, but I see herself failing miserably, and and annoying the house guests and being out very early. I could see it.
I co-sign that. My assessment of Meg is that I can see her being the first boot, man. I really can. I think that she's just grating enough and just vanilla enough where people won't be afraid to put her up, and annoying enough where they'll want to put her up. So, yeah. She's got problems.
Misty120 says Meg would make a cute couple with Steve Moses. I think they'll have chemistry. Is Meg going to be boy crazy for Steve?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I see them together.
Yeah, I don't know. But I've been surprised before. There have been things that have happened in the past that I never saw coming, so who knows?
I feel like Steve is anti-showman, so I feel like she's not going to be boy crazy for Steve. I don't see that this being a match.
Yeah.
I don't think so. All right, so here is another question from Jacob. Says, considering she's friends with Andrea, what aspects of Andrea's Survivor game do you think that we could/will see?
Could we see the BR rules?
The BR rules from Meg? No, I don't think so, because she doesn't even want to play the second half of the DG rules.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I feel like Meg is going to be too much talky and not enough listeny.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Karen liked that one. Yeah.
Big Brother Junkie says, Meg can do well. She's personable and funny. Think if she mentions she knows Frankie Grande, it will make her a target?
Yes. Well,
you know she can't help but mention that she knows Frankie Grande.
Yeah.
We'll see.
No, I like I said, it's her personality. You've got to. At the end of the day, it's about social bonds, and her personality is so grating. And I wish I could say something different, but objectively speaking, that's how I'm feeling about her. I don't feel good about her chances.
Could we be seeing the next social media mogul by proxy in the house?
No, but we will see the first social media Meggle. Do you think that Meg will play an Ashley Wood-esque type of game? Hold on. Let me Google who Ashley Wood is.
I was gonna say, is that the girl from Big Brother Canada 3, Ashley Wood?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I mean, I just knew her as Ashley. I didn't know her last name. Don't kill me.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no. That was. She cannot play that game. No, because I don't think she can get into a showmance, and I think she's too annoying. Ashley was a good listener. If you ever listened to Zach and Ashley in the bathtub, she knew how to listen to Zach and let him think that he was pulling all the strings and that he was in control of the game. And I just don't think that Meg can do that. She's too much talky.
Yeah. Again, I think Willow is the more apt comparison for the Big Brother kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Let's do a couple more questions on Meg. Oh, Heavy Metal Teddy, Adam Pock says, will anyone get a word in with Jason and Meg in the house? Those two could team up and be deadly.
Oh, I can definitely see them teaming up.
Yeah. That would be, well, that could be, that's like the alliance that makes itself, Jason and Meg. Good call by Adam.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't she going to be like, isn't that like already a sitcom of that? Here's Meg and there's like her gay best friend Jason, like they're just going to go talk.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know if Jason's going to like her because, I mean, if she's going to be so syrupy sweet, I feel like he wants like a Britney in the house.
Yeah, I don't see them getting along, actually. I think he would probably find her annoying. I find her annoying, and, I feel like I probably relate more to Jason than anybody in this cast, so, yeah.
But he is going to glue her to the other girls, so.
That's true. Hi-Hat says, Meg, one of the first two gone or final two, nowhere in between. Mark my words.
I agree. Well, I agree with the former, not the latter.
Well, I think we're all saying first out more than final two, right?
Hell yes. Heck yes. Yes.
Okay. Then let's take one more. Alexander says, Meg is a little Kimmy Gibbler. That's right. That's right. A reset of my hot take on Kimmy Gibbler. There you go. Meg equals
Well, how does I know this now? I looked it up.
Oh, good. Yes.
Yes. All right. Let's go ahead and let's talk about our next person here. And it's Shelly. It bums me out that they have another Shelly. Like, I was fine with the Shelly we had. Taryn, why did we need another Shelly?
I don't know.
I know why. They needed an old woman in the house, and she is the old woman at 33 years old. Hard to believe, huh?
Yeah.
That was a joke. I love Shelly, by the way. The Shelly from back in the day, not this Shelly necessarily. But I find it amazing that she is the oldest woman in the house at 33 years old. Wow, that makes me feel old.
Yeah. So here is Shelly Poole, not Shelly Moore, but she is from Atlanta, and she is an interior designer.
I think my favorite part about Shelly's bio was that she had a link to her Etsy page in the bio.
Is there anything worth buying there?
I couldn't see anything. I think you have to like log in to look, but she had like handmade jewelry, I think.
Okay. Well, here's Shelly, and I don't know. I'm getting a hard read on trying to figure out why she's in the Big Brother house.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. She seems like she's really needy. She talks about how she was in one relationship and she got married, and then she jumped out of that relationship and jumped into a new relationship. And
But she
I don't
is
know
single, right?
Yeah, she is single right now.
Ready to mingle, eating Pringles.
Yes, single and maybe ready to mingle. Yes.
Yes.
And she is the girl with the fraternal twin, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she does have a fraternal twin in the middle of 5 children. So she's been fighting for attention since a young age. Shelly's been in relationships for as far back as she can remember, and got married when she was 28. So like, when was she in a relationship? When she was like 5? Like, how far back do these relationships go?
Maybe she got amnesia at some point.
Maybe she only remembers when she was 28. And so she's recently divorced, but so she's back and ready to mingle. And so last summer she was watching Big Brother, and she told her boyfriend at the time she wanted to imply he mocked her. And that was enough for Shelly to push her dreams aside. Let me make sure. He mocked her,
Yeah,
and that was enough for Shelly to push her dreams aside. What dream?
I thought this was her dream. Yeah.
Okay.
she was recruited, she said.
But hold on. So, how is she recruited, and that was her dream to be in the Big Brother house?
Don't you know, Rob? It's everybody's dream to be in the Big Brother house.
Yeah. I mean, not for anything. Like, what kind of a-hole is her boyfriend? That's just like, oh, I think I'd like to be on Big Brother. Like, you could never be on Big Brother. You'll never make it. They'll eat you alive in there.
Like, what was he mocking her about? Like, oh, you're really boring on the feed, so.
Like, maybe is she dating a former Big Brother contestant? Like I've been on the show and you haven't. Ha 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 ha.
You'd be pre-jury, and then I'd have to break up with you.
Yeah, you'd suck at Big Brother. You'll never get on. They already had a Shelly, and she was awesome.
She was awesome.
You're the Shelly that sucks. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know why he would mock her so much. You're too boring. It'll never put you on the show. Like, it's my dream. Sorry, Shelly. So she's afraid of sharks and alligators.
It's reasonable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which past Big Brother cast member did you like most? Cody was so hot. Derek was my very favorite. I also like Brendan and Rachel and Jeff and Jordan. So she led with Cody. Top of mind, Cody.
I bet Cody's, upset that he's not in the house right now.
Yeah. So, okay. Is there a possibility of a showmance for Shelly? A shellmance?
I don't know. She's a gorgeous girl. I mean, she's personable. I was taken with her empathy and her relatability to people. At 33, she has more life experience than many of the other people in the house, and she doesn't look her. She doesn't. Oh God, that sounds terrible. She doesn't look 33. She looks gorgeous. So, I think there's a possibility for a showmance.
Yeah, I thought Jeff seemed pretty taken with her too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I thought.
What?
But some like. I mean, is James can we see a James and Shelly match?
Oh, come
Jelly?
on.
Jelly?
No.
We can
Why
have
not?
a jelly with like half the male cast.
He's from the South. Yeah, she's from the South. Chances are there will be a Jelly, if anything, right?
Yeah.
What about Dentist John? He's a dentist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's a dentist.
He's
Yeah,
a
he's
rock
a
and roll
dentist.
Hey,
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
that's got to mean something, right? That's a respectable job.
Yes, I think she will hook up into some sort of a showmance. If I am hold a gun to my head and force me to say, I think that was probably the most likely course for her at this point. However, I don't know who she's necessarily going to hook up with.
Okay,
But she is gorgeous, and I'll give her that.
we will see.
She's relatable.
Brandon's so taken with Shelly.
I like her. I thought she was somebody who could form bonds with other people in the house that they would say, I trust this woman.
Yeah.
I think she's like the sweetheart of the
Yes.
cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she looks like a Beth Stern.
Yeah, totally.
Oh yes. Wait, but that 2 seconds went by. Okay, I'm with you now. Yeah.
Karen, that's another person that's on Full House.
Oh yeah, I knew that. That's why I
Yes.
said totally.
Yes. Okay. The basketball boss says, so Shelly is an older woman who's been married, then divorced, so she's Missy Payne 2.0? What?
No,
She
Who's
just showed up to
Muffin?
the Big Brother
Yeah.
house.
Who's Muffin? Okay.
Muffin.
Then let's go from Miranda. Miranda H says, in one of Shelly's interviews, she compared herself to Derek, which made me LOL big time. Unlike Derek, who had an answer and smart approach to everything, she seems stumped on every question, and like she has no clue what is going on. Oh, and this is actually from Shelly's ex-boyfriend. This question. Mocking Shelly once again.
Well, she said it was last season, right? So she was probably watching Derek, saying, "You know what? I could play a game just like his."
You are no Derek, Shelly. Do you have any idea? This guy is one of the best.
He'll never be Derek.
You'll never be Derek.
Well, the thing with her is I liked her in her interview with Jeff. I didn't like her so much in her interview with the Big Brother Network, and then I didn't get to see her interview with Rachel and Ryan because it wasn't uploaded yet when I woke up today. So, yeah.
Yeah. Jeff was like, well, if you saw my season, you know I like people from the South, and you're from the South, so I like you. You know I like that, right? And I'm like, all right, Jeff. All right. Jaden says, Shelly falls under exactly the same boat to me as Becky. Very vanilla and very decent?
They do seem very similar.
Yes. Yes, I think so. I mean, I feel like that they could just be, could they be an alliance? Shelly and Becky?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Possible. Although Shelly said she did not want a girls' alliance, so.
Uh-oh. What does she want?
Not a girls' alliance. But every single interviewer asked about a girls' alliance, and so I have for almost all of them whether or not they want a girls' alliance. Right.
Yeah. No, they really do force that girls' alliance down their
They
throats.
really want it to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do.
Somebody really wants a girls' alliance. Yeah. And then this is from Derek, who says, Shelly with an I is hopefully this season's Brittany, BBC Brittany. Hopefully Big Brother will make her kick 2,500 goals also.
Hopefully, I guess.
She did remind me of her, actually, but I hope that fate doesn't befall her.
Yeah. Well, maybe that was what she said, like, oh, I could do that. And her boyfriend's like, you could never kick that many soccer balls. I've seen you play. You're terrible.
You're a terrible soccer player.
Game. Yeah, you quit. All right, this is from Gary Johnson. It says, the twist of season, Battle of the Blondes, Meg versus Shelly versus Liz versus Vanessa. But seriously, there's a lot of blondes. Actually, the twist this season is blondes versus people with J names. That's actually the twist.
Yes.
It's the twistiest summer ever.
Blondes versus J names versus miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous. Okay. This is from Ryan, who says, how often does one see sharks and alligators in Atlanta?
Yeah, I think this is one of those questions where they were just asking her, like, what are you afraid of? And she's like, sharks and alligators. Yeah. I don't think it's something she's really thinking about on a daily basis, people.
Things that could kill me.
Fill the pool with sharks and alligators this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be for Sharknado week when Ian Ziering takes over the house.
Yes.
And Alligator NATO. All right. She swims says Shelly's hooking up. Done deal. But who's the guy? Name. Don't
just gotta be a match.
Yeah, don't just tell me she's hooking up. Tell me with who. That's the easy part. Okay. Then from Big Brother Junkie says, do you think that Shelly being a recruit and not a superfan will help her make it far on the show? Superfans usually overplay.
I think she'll make it pretty far. She's another person who wants to lay low for a while, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she'll be okay. Yeah,
I think she will be okay.
Do overplay, and God knows we've seen that over the years in Big Brother. You're so excited to get there, and you want to start doing stuff. Whereas the people, we say go to sleep for the first month of the game, and that's not what the recruits aren't afraid to go to sleep.
Right.
That's
yeah.
good. Okay.
As long as she can avoid being in that sort of Brittany BB Can role where she's kind of put up as the non-threatening pawn to whoever the target is, and then ultimately somehow gets evicted because of it, I think she'll be fine.
Well, she just can't express distrust toward the person who's in control of the entire house, like Brittany did with Derek.
Well, yeah, that's always a thing.
Okay. All right. Then from Unicorn Street, a showman's for Shelly or this year's BB house marriage? Oh, following in the steps of Jeff and Jordan. A proposal, maybe.
Oh, well, cool. Yeah. I'm sorry, I missed that question. I was like, what was that question?
Yeah. All right, one last question from Jacob says, is it safe to say that this is the Shelly that sucks?
Well, I think that's a bit unfair. I mean, first of all, there's one Shelly in 16 seasons of Big Brother.
Great.
She is amazing, and I would love to see her play again. So
Okay.
she has a very big hill to climb, but we haven't seen anything from this girl yet. So give her a chance. When I first saw Shelly back on it's all blanking. Is it BB12? Guys,
13.
help me out.
13.
Sorry. Okay. I didn't think much of her either when I first saw her. I thought she'll be, the older lady, she'll be out soon, and she was by far the most amazing house guest I had seen that season, as far as exceeding my expectations of what I thought she was going to be going into the house. So I think it's a bit unfair to say, well, this girl is already the one that sucks. Give her a chance. You never know.
All right. We'll see. She's got a high bar.
A high bar.
She has her work cut out for her.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And then our last person of the night, our 14th house guest is Vanessa Rousseau, and she is a poker player. And we have a lot to talk about here with Vanessa, who is probably the most well-known, before we're talking about any of this stuff with Audrey, but the person who comes in to the house with the biggest cachet of being known as being a poker player and also as a DJ. Here is Vanessa. She studied game theory at Duke. And here she is. They say about her that she's the #2 female poker player in the world when it comes to online and live tournaments. She's been pro for the past 10 years and won $4.5 million since she began. Now, what the hell is she wasting a summer in the Big Brother house for? That's my first question for her. If you win $4.5 million, unless I guess she loves Big Brother.
She's a fan of the show.
She's a fan of the show. So here we are. Very lucky, I think, to have Vanessa play the game. All right. Let's start. Brent, tell me about what you know about Vanessa.
Well, I don't know much about Vanessa, but I probably know more than the average person. I used to be really into poker. Right. I used to really be into poker, and I played at the 2010 World Series of Poker, which is like the Super Bowl of poker, and I played at a table with Vanessa. And then later on, I played with her husband at the time, Chad Brown, who has later since passed. God rest his soul. But he was really nice, and she was really sweet. She was very into her poker, and she was nice enough to say hello. I got to play a few hands with her, and that was about it. So, but at least I met her, and she was cool enough, and she is very good at poker. She's won a lot of money, done very well. She won quite a few poker titles. Doesn't have a World Series of Poker bracelet yet, but I would be intimidated to face her again at the poker table, and I really like her chances this year in Big Brother if she can form bonds with people and somehow not let them know that she has won a lot of money playing poker. But that might be a problem since Davon is also a poker dealer.
Yeah. Boy, this is going to be very tricky and a tough spot for her because on the one hand, we have this person who is an incredibly great game player that we think, but on the other hand, you would think that she's going to be targeted, and I think that people are going to realize very quickly that she is a smart cookie and somebody that will need to be dealt with early. So, Taryn, how do you see this working out?
Yeah, that's my big. I'm a huge fan of Vanessa. I didn't recognize her immediately.
From prior to Big Brother.
Not quite. I knew of her. I wasn't like the biggest fan of her beforehand, but going into Big Brother, I'm a huge fan of her and hopefully what she'll do in the game. My biggest worry for her is that she's very different. She has a very different background than most of these house guests, and I feel like she's probably a bit more mature than the majority of them. She's on the older end of the spectrum, and that might prevent her from fitting in, the way that she hopefully would want to. So that's my biggest worry, but I don't know. I think she has a very relaxed personality, and I think she has the potential to do really well.
It's going to be very fun to watch how this all plays out because the game of poker, and I haven't played a ton of poker, you're reading the people at the table, and then you're also, you're looking at your cards, and the odds, and you have to have, really, nerves of steel to be able to make some of these bets and sort of read your opponents. But to Big Brother, there's so much more that goes into it. Not to say that one game is harder than the other, but I don't think it's necessarily a one-to-one in terms of the skill sets required. Like on Big Brother, you have to listen to a lot of people's boring stories and seem interested for hours and hours and hours. Whereas poker, there's always something going on. There's a lot of downtime and just making relationships and the social game, which is such a big part of that. Brent, do you think that she's going to fare well at those other parts, the less exciting parts of the Big Brother game that are necessary to win?
Yes, only because, as a tournament poker player, which is what she generally is considered to be, you spend hours and hours just sitting at the table grinding and playing, and most of the time you're folding hands and just moving on to the next hand. So I feel like she has the skill set in order to be able to put up with the minutia that happens in the Big Brother house about just getting through the days as they tend to drag on. She also is pretty zen, and I feel like she could form good bonds with people. I do worry about her in that she is more mature than the other house guests, as Taryn noted. She has traveled the world. She's won titles in other countries. She is used to being treated a certain way when she travels. So being stuck in a house with all these crazy people, I don't know, is exactly her idea of a good time. And I don't really know why she's doing it. Maybe she just wants to up her brand. I will say this, as watching Vanessa play poker, she's always very been into her brand. She has a certain look about her. She has a way about her. She wants to present herself to the public in a certain way that she deems best for her long-term career goals. So maybe this is just another rung on the ladder for her to get her name out there. She's always wanted to be more than poker. I've always gotten that sense from her watching her play. So maybe this is just something she's decided to try to get the name Vanessa Russo out there.
She wants to be a DJ.
We'll see. Yeah, better DJ. Vanessa
exactly.
or Pow Pow, Taryn?
What was that?
Yeah. Who would you rather go here, Vanessa or Pow Pow as a DJ?
Oh, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Definitely.
How do you know? Are you familiar with her music?
She'll be interesting to talk to at the very least.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Papa was just going to be spinning the record. Come on, Rob.
Too loud. The music will be too loud.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And then we are also going to have her. She is going to play like Dan Giesling. He's not afraid to make big moves. He's afraid of flying insects, bats, death, being out of control, and being humiliated publicly. Well, Big Brother is not the place to go, if that's the case. All right, let's talk about this very intriguing angle here between Davon and Vanessa. How do we think this is going to play out? Will Davon out Vanessa? Will she go up to her and say, I know who you are? Will she keep it like hold cards and not show anybody?
I don't think she's going to out it to the whole house because Davon does not want people to know that she's a poker dealer. So if she goes around talking about poker, I don't think she wants to be the person going around talking about poker. I think she'll probably go to Vanessa first, and they'll probably have a conversation about it. And based on the results of that conversation, it'll either go out to the rest of the house or they'll keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
I also think I just want to put this out there. I know a lot of poker dealers. I mean, I'm a blackjack dealer, but I can deal poker and have dealt poker in the past. I know a lot of poker dealers who don't necessarily pay attention to the pro poker circuit. There's a definite possibility that Davon doesn't even know who Vanessa is. It's a possibility. I know people think that she was cast on the show because Vanessa's in the house and they wanted to put someone in there who might blow up her spot or at least maybe align with her or be able to relate to her. But I don't know that that's necessarily the case. I mean, Davon to me is somebody who could have been cast on Big Brother anyway, and I don't know that she was necessarily put there because Vanessa's in the house. So she may not know who she is.
What do we think about the possibility that they could pair up?
I think that's the most likely possibility if she does recognize her. And to be fair, I watch a decent amount of poker, and I didn't recognize her on sight without her hat and her sunglasses and stuff.
Right.
So you never know, but I do think they could pair up, and like I mentioned earlier, I think they'd be a good pair. I think they'd do well together.
I think they would do well together too, because Vanessa is somebody she's very serious. She's not cliquey. She's thinks about life, and she's dealt with a lot. Like I said, her husband at the time, even though they had separated when he passed, she's gone through a lot, and she's lived a lifetime at age 32. So I think hooking up with someone like Davon is probably in her interest.
Okay. That's going to be very fun to see how that plays out this summer. Let's take some of the questions about her. Let's start with this one, and this is from Survivor fan Rach, who says, will Vanessa say she's a construction worker? No, she's not going to say she's a poker player, right? She's just going to go say she's a DJ.
Right,
Yeah.
she's a DJ, right.
Rachel suggested that if they found out she's a poker player, she should say, yeah, but I've only won like one hand, so...
She's a bad poker player.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of her interview.
Yeah. All right. This is from Jacob B, who says, is this just me, or does she look like Gina Marie's long-lost twin?
A little bit, especially in this particular picture that they're showing. She does look a
Yeah.
little bit like Gina Marie, but she's nothing like Gina Marie. Nothing.
Yeah. I think she has a lot of different looks.
Yeah, she does. She likes to change it up.
Christopher Frick says, will Vanessa befriend Davon in a poker alliance, or will she get rid of her in fear of being exposed to the other house guests? Well, this is going to be a interesting dynamic, reminiscent of Jeff Kent and Dawson back in Survivor Philippines, where Jeff Kent was a baseball player. Dawson was the only person in the game who knew who he was. She sort of confronted him, and he's like, I'm going to get rid of her. So we'll see if that is going to play out as well.
I think...
Yeah.
The
Sorry,
way to
go
go
ahead.
about it is probably, if you are Davon, probably keep quiet about it, but like kind of get to know Vanessa, kind of like form a relationship before you bring it up. Because if you go to her, like straight to her before she even knows you and say, hey, I know you're a professional poker player and you've made $4.5 million, then they're going to be really threatened by that, and it might throw a wrench into their relationship.
Yeah. I think you want to sit on that information for a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's take another question. This is from @Fat Tyson Apostle. It says, is Vanessa the first multimillionaire to play Big Brother? Richest person to ever play Big Brother?
Oh, I don't know. She's won a lot. She also, I don't know if she's the richest person. She certainly made a lot of money, but a lot of that money is through backers and other people who staked her, and then she splits that with them. So she's won a lot of money. I don't know that all that money went to her bank account necessarily. So. Yeah. Who knows?
I think we probably have to take a look at Boogie and Will circa 2007. I think that could be those guys could be in the mix. I'm trying to think of who else would be in the list of the person with the highest net worth to play Big Brother.
Frankie Grande, social media mogul.
Yeah, that's possible also. So,
wealth of followers.
Wealth of followers. And, BB President says, Vanessa, intelligent game theorist, BB fan, top 10 female poker player, and comfortable on camera. Best potential for a female mastermind?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope so too, but I just feel like that it's not on paper. Everything looks great, but we don't play this game on paper. Like,
right.
Yep, I know what you mean.
You get backdoored in week 2 and it's over.
Yep.
I just feel like it's too perfect for her to come in and win, and I think that part of it is just going to be able to evade those perceptions, and she just looks like she's going to be somebody you watch out for.
Right. I think that she's pre-jury. I think she's out week 2 or week 3, and I really hope that that's not the case because I really want to see her do well. But she's way too intimidating. She's obviously smart. Just the way she talks to people is smart. You can tell that this woman knows what she's doing. She's obviously not going to tell people, I hope, that she went to Duke, but it's very hard to hide the fact that you have an education of that level.
Yeah. I think it's going to be tough for her. I want her to do well, but I'm
Right.
worried in practice it's not going to go that great. This
Yeah.
is from Jeezy. He says, I think Vanessa can win the game, but I feel like someone will recognize her and know who she is. I'm not super worried. Other than Davon, I don't know how. Again, I don't have any experience with Vanessa before this. I'm not sure who's going to recognize her out of this group. Besides, if it's not Davon, then I don't know who.
Right. We just never know on this topic, though, because in Survivor, Dawson knew who Kent was, and I would have never have guessed that. I mean, I didn't even know who Jeff Kent was, and I watched a lot of baseball. So, you never know. I mean, anybody could know who Vanessa is. They might have seen her. She was on, especially a couple years ago. She was really blowing up in poker, and she won like the NBC National Heads Up Championship, did really well in that, and she was all over social media for a little while. So. Yeah, somebody might know who she is, besides Davon.
Okay. Yeah. Rachel Hirsch says, I really want Vanessa and Austin to pair up. I think that their personalities would go well together.
I think their personalities would go well together, too. Austin seems like he's lived a lifetime in his short life, and she as well. So I would like to see them work well together.
Yep, I could see that. I think that would be a good pair. No poker pun intended. Superfactor says, where do you think that you would rank Vanessa as a poker player in reality TV? All right, so what's the See, this is where it gets trickier. Like, do we count Boston Rob as a poker player?
No, we don't.
Do we count known as a poker player going in?
Yeah. Do we count Annie Duke as in this mix?
Oh yeah, Annie Duke she was an amazing poker player before she went on The Apprentice.
Who are the players that are in the mix?
Jean Robert, Annie Duke, Vanessa Russo,
Kevin.
Yeah, I didn't know who Kevin was before he came on the show, though. I mean, he is a professional poker player, but I never heard of him.
I think he had started like within the year. He had made like around $60K. He had just gotten started.
Garrett Adelstein.
Oh right, yeah, Garrett for sure.
Yeah, Garrett's a grinder. Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, that's what they call him. They call him that when you're seeing the cash games day after day, and you're just you're making like $100, $200 a day. That's what you call him. You're a grinder. Okay. Yeah.
I think that's where they bring you the chicken and vegetables.
Yes, exactly.
I think the point is that there's an opening for her to be the top spot there if she.
Okay. Let's see a couple more. This is from Anthony S. Will Vanessa swear on her poker card? Yes, no, I hope so.
She actually mentioned even though she wants to play like Dan, she will not swear on a Bible or her friends or I'm sure her poker cards.
Swear on this deck of cards, Vanessa. Swear on the deck of cards. Swear on Lady Luck.
I think Meg said she wanted to bring a deck of cards, so you can see Meg doing that.
All right. Cycle says if she can put up with 15 people, or if she can put up people like John Robert from Survivor 15 at the poker table for hours, she can probably handle BB.
I watched a poker After Dark. I think that's what it's called, and she was at a table with John Robert, and he's just a riot.
Oh yeah. Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, and
can you send me the link to that?
Yeah, sure. She's just like total straight face. Like she's great at the poker table.
All right, well, that is a great transition because right after this podcast is over, I'm going to be uploading the Evolution of Strategy Chapter 15, talking about Jean Robert. So we are getting set. If you want to find out more about that, go to evolutionofstrategy.com. All right, Dan Coulter says, Lady Maverick for the win.
Love her.
She's got a good hashtag.
Yeah, that's her name at the poker table. On the online poker tables, that's her name, by the way.
Yeah.
Lady Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's do any more questions, Scott? Let me know if we got another one. All right, how do we think that Vanessa is going to do ultimately? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs down for me. I just think that it's like Rob says, it's too good on paper. I just don't think it's going to work out that well. I think she's probably week 2, week 3 out, somewhere in there, early jury. I think she's too smart. I think the boys will be very intimidated by her, just the way she talks. And also, I don't know that she's going to be able to keep the fact that she is a poker player under her hat for very long. I mean, it gets boring in that house. What else is she going to talk about? All she's been doing for the past, 7 years is playing poker all over the world. I mean, how is she going to talk about anything with anybody? I mean, all of her life experiences come and emanate from that. So, yeah, she can talk about DJing. She can talk about DJing a little bit, but I just don't know how she's going to relate to people and swap stories with people without saying, well, I went to Germany for that. Well, why'd you go for Germany? Oh,
to DJ.
Well, come on, it's gonna come out. I swear it will. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Taryn.
I don't think she's a player that is necessarily locked in any particular position. I think depending on how well she fits into the cast, she could go really far and do really well, or like Brent said, she could be out early. I think she's versatile enough that she could place anywhere. I don't think we're going to be able to be very good at predicting where she's going to end up.
I'm rooting for the best, but I'm expecting the not best. I think she's probably going to be out like week 3 or 4. But love, again, just like we talked about with Johnny Mac, that if this is the winner of the season, then we have probably just seen a great season of Big Brother.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just talk about big picture here from tonight. I want to know about who do you have the highest hopes for of the people that we talked about tonight? I'll start with you, Taryn.
Tonight, it's definitely Vanessa. No, I don't think anybody's even close. I love everything about her. She's a very good poker player. She studied game theory. She loves Dan Giesling. I mean, what more could you want?
Okay. Brent, who do you like the best out of the players we talked about tonight?
I like Vanessa, but I have to say that my heart is definitely with Audrey, and it's not because she's transgender. It's because she seems utterly insane for the game, and I love people like that absolutely live to play this game. She seems like she can't wait to get in there. I feel like she's good enough to make bonds with people, and I feel like she knows what to do. So I think she can do it.
All right, I'm going to go with a different person entirely from you guys, and I like that we have 3 different people out of only 7. Give me Davon. I'm going to say that I like her because I think she has a great personality. She knows the game, and I also like that she has this piece of information potentially about Vanessa that nobody else has, and I think that there could be a way to leverage that in the best possible way for Davon. I feel like that benefits her more than any other person, that she has that piece of information. She could go to Vanessa, she could work with Vanessa, she could use that to get Vanessa out, and so I think that is something that helps her a lot here in the game. So give me Davon. And then what about overall winner pick between the 2 nights? I know you guys haven't talked about the guys with me. Do you guys have a pick for the winner?
Taryn.
I'm trying to think of the guys really quickly. I think I've got to go. I've got to stick with Vanessa.
Okay, Vanessa.
I mean, not necessarily because I think she's going to win, but I always like to pick the person who I want to do the best to win.
And Brent, you're going to stick with Audrey?
Well, my heart wants Audrey to win, but I would, if I had to pick, if you hold a gun to my head and say who's going to be the winner this season, I think it's going to be Steve. That's the winner of the season.
Steve.
Yeah,
right.
I like Steve. Yeah. Yep.
I felt like Steve was going to struggle with the social game. Do you feel like he'll be able to overcome that?
I think if he can make it past, he's one of these people that if you can make it past the first 2 weeks, then I feel like he'll be okay. I really do feel like he'll be okay after that. But you're right. I do worry about him a little bit. But winner pick is somebody I feel like you kind of have to go all in for. So I feel like if he can get past that, he can do it. He's the most likely.
Steve has to get into the Stone Cold Alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and I think I talked about how I liked Jace last night, but I'm gonna stick with Davon tonight. I think that's gonna be my girl going into this, and we'll see how this all plays out. All right, so that's our Big Brother 17 preview, our 2-night preview. Boy, about going on almost 5 hours of Big Brother 17 preview over 2 nights. So it's a lot. It's a lot of over the course of 2 nights. We're getting ready for the premiere coming up this Wednesday, but we have got plenty of Big Brother coverage coming. We're going to be live after every episode, after each night, 3 nights a week. After the CBS show, we'll be live after each episode, taking your questions, talking about the stuff that happened on the live feeds, and also starting with the episode. We'll keep it spoiler-free in the first half up until the point we say that it's not. We're gonna talk about the live feeds. We're also going to be doing a Big Brother voicemail show once a week and taking voicemails from you guys. Plus, we're going to have coverage also on our reality TV RHAP-ups. Our friend Jordan Parhar from Big Brother Canada, he's going to be doing his own weekly show on reality TV RHAP-ups, talking to his different Big Brother friends. A lot of Big Brother Canada people are going to be taking part in that, and he's also working on a cast preview show that should be coming this weekend. More information on that soon to follow. All right, you guys want to hear the cast of Big Brother Second Chance voted in?
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Please.
All right, let me do it. I'll do it like Jeff Probst. I'll go down. I'll go down the aisle and talk about people. Okay, so 8 people are gonna get in. All right, so imagine this scenario that they're all sitting there. Okay.
Are we ready for
All
the
right.
chat to explode?
All right. Christine Brecht, you were one of the people that was very polarizing in your season. Chatty Natty, you made such a big impression. I'm sorry, your second chance will have to wait. Sorry. I'll have to mark how many people are in the top 8. All right. Oh, wow. All right. Michelle Costa, you were the Portuguese princess in Big Brother 10. So your second chance will have to wait. I'm sorry, Michelle
What?
Costa.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
What a bummer. I love her.
Jody, you were in the house for 5 minutes, and then Dan Giesling evicted you. You will get a chance for redemption. You are going back
all
to
right.
Big
My
Brother
God.
second chance.
What?
Congratulations, Jody.
This was rigged.
All right. Nicole Nilsson, you played in Big Brother 2. You played against one of the best in Dr. Will. Annie, you were the saboteur, and you were the first person voted out in Big Brother 13. Both of you guys are going back. Get up there. Get up on the stage.
All right.
Love them.
Aaron Greaves, you were one of the most polarizing house guests we've ever had. Amy Cruz, you love cheese. And you played in Big Brother 3. You got voted out and you came back in. Your second chance will have to wait. I'm sorry. You will not be going back into the house for Big Brother's second chance. All right. Shelly Moore. Some people said that you were the Shelly that doesn't suck. We've had another Shelly that we put on. You will go back into the house, Shelly. Congratulations.
Yay!
Michelle Noonan, you've been down on your luck. You've fought through so much adversity. I'm sorry. You will have to wait to post on social media because you're going back to the house, Michelle Noonan.
It was like a reverse T-bird
Okay,
there. Like,
yes. Amanda Zuckerman, you're going back into the Big Brother Second Chance house. Nicole Frenzel, you got voted out. You came back in. You will be going back to play in Big Brother Second Chance. All right. Sheila Kennedy, you came in 3rd place. You were right there. I'm sorry, your second chance will have to wait.
Oh, yeah.
Monica Bailey, it's not on. You will have to wait for your second chance. Jen Johnson, we have a generous offer for you. You're going to go back and play. Yes. All right, so here are the people that made it. Amanda is in order of finish. Amanda from top down. Amanda, Nicole, Jen Johnson, Shelly, Michelle Noonan, Annie Whittington, Nicole Nilsson, Jody Rollins. That's your top 8. On the outside looking in, it was then Michelle Costa. She came in. She was in 9th. She was just there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Monica, Aaron, Amy, Sheila, Chatty Natty, and Christine bringing up the rear. Over 2,000 ballots were cast in our fake Big Brother season. That's 2,400 ballots for the women. I think it's the same for the men. All right, do you want to hear for the for the men?
Please, yes.
Do it.
All right, let me see where the line is. Interesting to see what you guys thought. Okay. All right, so that is the line. All right. Kevin Campbell, you were a great player in Big Brother 11. You were right there. Devin, you formed one of the most infamous alliances in Big Brother history. For both of you guys, I'm sorry. Your second chance will have to wait. I'm sorry.
Boo.
I didn't want to do this without Devin.
I'm Max Dawsoning right now. Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God. Okay. Enzo Palumbo, you were the meow meow in the brigade. Dominic Briones, you found love in the Big Brother house, but you didn't have much luck. You will both get the chance to have a second chance.
Yay.
You're going back in. Robert Memphis Garrett. You played with Dan Giesling. You were not his flunky. Kurt Clark wanted to axe you. I defended your honor. Frank Udy, you were a popular player in Big Brother 14. You're both going to get a second chance. Congratulations.
All right, Memphis.
Yay.
Okay.
No surprises there.
Okay. Jason Guy and McCrae Olsen. McCrae, you were America's favorite pizza boy for a summer. Jason Guy, you were America's favorite nice guy for a summer. and now you're one of America's favorite newscasters. One of you is going back. I'm sorry, the other isn't.
Don't even.
Jason Guy, you are getting a second chance. I'm McCrae. I'm sorry, your second chance will have to wait. I'm sorry.
Not surprised. A lot of love for Jason Guy out there.
Oh man,
I'm
Jason's
sorry.
the best.
All right. Eric Stein. You will not have to wait again, Eric Stein. You're going back into the Big Brother second chance.
I think the real question is, will he have to be America's player?
Yes, and you'll be America's player. Matt Hoffman, you wrote a great cast assessment that was on BigBrotherNetwork.com today. You will not be writing a cast assessment about this cast because you were in it. You're going to the second chance house. Zach Rance, you were a Fruit Loop dingus in your first season. You are going back. You will not have to wait for your second chance. And I think I eliminated everybody. I'm sorry. Marvin Latimer, Spencer, Willie Hansen, Roddy Mancuso. You will have to wait for your second chance. I'm sorry. Oh, Roddy Mancuso has finished last in the poll. How about that?
What?
Yeah. I thought people wanted the classic players, wanted the older players. In order of finish, it was Eric Stein, 1, Matt Hoffman, Zach Rance, Frank, Memphis, Dominic Briones, Enzo, Jason Guy, Kevin, Devin Bro, McCrae, Marvin, Spencer, Willie Hance, Roddy.
Wow. Yeah.
Eric Stein on over 90% of your ballots, America.
If Roddy doesn't get so upset about being called the devil, does he get on Big Brother Second Chances?
Maybe. Only 25% of the ballot, though. I think that's a...
Well, I think that people still remember. Danielle is so beloved as the girl who should have won, and he was definitely not in her corner. So I think I still have a bad taste in my mouth from the way he treated her on Big Brother. So I wouldn't vote for him either.
Again, that's 2,400 completed ballots.
Yeah.
Over there. So that was not bad for a fake Big Brother cast. That we had 2,400 ballots cast.
I mean, I'm pretty close to 10 million, right? Like
that's pretty good. The casuals didn't turn out for this.
Yay!
All right. We need a hashtag for this episode. What do we got?
I'm never good with this.
All right.
You somehow always surprise me with it. I should be thinking about it ahead of time.
Yes. Next time I will have one for you, Rob.
What do you want? You want Kimmy Gibbler?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
You want Porsche's boat?
They were so mad at me in the chat for not knowing.
Porsche's boat. Yeah. Oh.
What do you want?
Porsche's boat.
I like
Porsche's
Porsche's boat. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Porsche's boat. They were combining 2 vehicles together for a Porsche's boat. Okay. What goes on Porsche's boat? All right. Big Brother live feeds are available now. If you want to chat with Frankie Grande, and really, who doesn't? I mean, the guy's a mogul. Everybody wants a piece of him. This is your chance. It's gonna be the only chance to get a hold of him. So go and grab your Big Brother live feeds anytime you want. robbinswebsite.com/live feeds if you want to buy them or get them through our site. Of course, that we get a commission from that, and that is always greatly appreciated. If you want to play the Big Brother live feed bingo, no purchase is necessary. Go to robbinswebsite.com/bingo. All right. So very great job tonight, guys. We'll be talking with you about the live feeds as we go along. Of course, you can follow these guys on Twitter. You'll be tweeting about the live feeds, I'm sure, as well. Taryn is on Twitter. He's at Armstrong Taryn. He is not tweeting about Full House. And then also Brent is on Twitter. Brent, he has a new Twitter handle. What is your new Twitter handle?
Yes, it's One Lucky Gay. It's a play on the phrase One Lucky Guy. So it's One Lucky Gay. Tweet me there. It's actually something you guys can spell because nobody can spell my last name. So I decided to get a real Twitter handle. It's a good time for it. Yeah.
There you go. All right. So great job, everybody. Lots of fun tonight. We'll be back over next week with a Big Brother premiere recap. Got some other fun stuff that I'm working on. We're going to do a live show over the weekend with one of the great Survivor characters that we've seen in recent memory. Rodney will be my guest on a live show this weekend.
Yes.
So we'll talk to Rodney over the weekend. Plus, a lot more fun stuff coming your way. Something that is absolutely insane that I'm working on, and I mean insane in like what a stupid and fun idea that we're gonna attempt discussing something musical, and that is what's coming up. That's gonna have that early next week as well. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments. And again, keep it classy in the comments. I got no tolerance for people screwing around in the comments. I want everybody to be respectful. Got that?
Got it.
Make me talk tough on the podcast. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.